We just heard something hit the back of the trailer. Hi everybody, Carl, Camping with Endless Weekends. Welcome back. Star and I didn't get out to make a video this weekend, but I did want to make you a video, so I'm going to kind of compare our two power stations and see the differences, how far they've come. One was the groundbreaker, the granddaddy of them all. And the other one is just one of many that has come out since this one, since the first one, since the EcoFlow. So we're just going to kind of show you the differences between the EcoFlow and the All Powers tonight. So stick around and I'll try to show you the difference. Star's out here with me tonight. She says, "What is going on?" I don't know whether you guys can hear the rain on the roof, but it is really raining hard this weekend. Okay, I did this video once, but I kept getting in the way and I didn't really have a good angle, and I'm really working on getting better camera angles. But if you notice the EcoFlow on the left here, I called it the granddaddy of all these power stations. There is probably I bet you there's as many as 50 different brands or more of these power stations out today. But I call this the granddaddy because when I purchased this, EcoFlow and Bluetti was about the only two on the market. This one here comes with 1200 watt hours, and it has 4 USBs and 2 Class C plug-ins. It has on the back 6 plug-ins for AC and 12 volt, but it has a 1800 watt capacity. I can power up a microwave with this. It's got a surge of 1800 watts, so that means I can power a microwave with it. This is a good machine. Now, I call it a machine. You call it whatever you want to call it. This here, it was one of the first ones that you could charge without a power brick. That contributes a little bit to the weight because the power brick is built in. But you just plug right in there to charge it off AC, and I think it will take up to 675 watts continuous charging. But anyway, this thing will charge in an hour's time from empty. It charges with solar. This is the reset button. But EcoFlow was one of the pioneers. I remember when they was just starting and they were asking people to contribute to their cause. And this was probably, we have had this Delta probably 4 years. Now with this, I will tell you that twice it has failed me. Twice, once I was testing an electric blanket and it got down to 50% and it crashed. Went all the way down to 0. And I called or messaged EcoFlow, and they was good at getting right back with me. They told me to run it all the way down, recharge it, and run it all the way down and recharge it, and that should correct the problem. I didn't do that, and the wife and I, about a month ago, we traveled into Pennsylvania, took these two power stations. We had to sleep in different locations because she was in the loft of an old stone cabin, and I was downstairs on my cot. So she had her own little power station upstairs, and I had mine downstairs. But it failed on me that night. It was setting at 96% when we left home, but I didn't even get through one movie, and it did the same thing. It crashed all the way to 0. So I am going to run it all the way down 2 times like they suggested and then recharge it to see if that corrects the problem. But that is the only 2 times in the 4 years. We took this to Arizona with us. We had no problems with the solar we had on the roof and keeping this thing charged. We had all kinds of power. We was off grid probably 4 out of the 5 months we were out there. So the EcoFlow, the Groundbreaker, I have really no complaints on. Now let's go over here to the Allpowers. The Allpowers is a relatively new brand. It also has a nice display, 12 volt in the front. This one here only has 298 watt hours, so it's about a fourth of what this is. But I wanted this for backpacking. You're not going to carry this 30 miles, but if you're only backpacking a couple 100 yards to get to a campsite, you can carry this thing in. 30 pounds, 13 pounds. So some of the features on the Allpowers that the EcoFlow doesn't have. Now remember, this is 4 years old, and this is about, well, we've had it about 3 months, 2 to 3 months. 298 watt hours, but it only has a maximum surge of 600 watts. So if you plug something into this that's 700 watts, it's going to shut it down. It's going to trip it. You're going to have to reset it. One nice feature on this that I like is it's got its own light. And that is a very bright light. I looked into that, and it took me a while to regain my vision in one eye. That was a dumb mistake. This has no light. This here, I can lay my S21 on here, and it will charge on the top of this. This does not have that, okay? This only has 2 AC inputs or outputs. And, of course, with only 600 watts, you wouldn't want, maybe you could plug a lamp into it and a fan, something small wattage like that. I think a fan and a fan usually on medium runs you about 40 watts on a draw, and a light, depending on how big your wattage of your bulb is, it doesn't draw much at all. It also has 2 USB and 2 Class C. These put out 100. These here will charge at 100 watts. So that is a nice feature on this. On the end, it also has the, you do not need a power brick with this one. So you can just plug right in, charge this up with solar. It's got the XP60, just like the EcoFlow. It's got the reset, and you can charge it. And it takes about 50 to 60 minutes from zero to charge this. So the Groundbreaker, one of the many, many, many that has come onto the market. I like them both. I mean, they're good for 2 different things. They, if you researched solar generators or solar power boxes, power banks, like I have, they have power banks now that are 4 times this size they put them on wheels. So solar has come a long way. But I keep these at 100% at my house. We don't lose power a lot, but if we do lose power, I've got this and this. I loaned this to my sister-in-law about 10 miles away from us, lost power, and we didn't. So I had this charged up, and I took this to her, and she was able to run her fridge for about 12 hours on it. So, yeah. I don't know what much else to say about them, but I would recommend both the Allpowers, and I would recommend the EcoFlow, even though it's failed me twice, and I know it was a fluke. Yeah, both good. I like all the features on them. I like the light. I like the charging of the phone on top. And I like this because you can run up to 1800 watts surge on it. A microwave, a Keurig. You would be surprised how much a Keurig pulls. A Keurig pulls, I believe, 15 to 1600 watts when it's first brewing. So, yeah. I just wanted to do a quick video tonight comparing the two. I'm glad we've got two. I don't think you can have too many of these. So, especially if you're a van dweller or live in a cargo trailer or going to be off grid. I take these every time I go out to camp. Last time I went, I left this in the truck, took this, and I think it was still at 60% when I came back. So, and I think I might have used it to charge my phone a few times because I do use a lot of run my phone batteries down quite a bit. So, and my GoPro. So, again, EcoFlow, all powers. I like them both. There's probably about 50 brands out now, probably all made by the same company or close to it, maybe just a few companies. EcoFlow, they might own all powers. Bluetti might own, I don't know, there's all kinds of them. Just research it. But you can't go wrong with these. Get them, charge them up, keep them at the house. If your power goes out, you're going to be able to charge your phone, run your refrigerator, or whatever you need to do. All right? You have a good night. Never stop dreaming. We love you. Try to love others. All right? Bye-bye.